Hello everybody and welcome back to Pravus Gaming and more BioInk Redemption with our lethal difficulty guides. We're going back to the clinic today and we're playing Biomedical Warfare. Patient is under ongoing disease threat. This is a pretty tough scenario on lethal difficulty, and unfortunately there's an even harder one later down in the life campaign. But yeah, basically our patient is going to be continuously devolving new diseases, which means we're going to have to redo several tests. Very annoying. You have to be really on point with your diagnostics. For our economy, I'm going to go for emergency bonus, because as our patient continues to evolve more and more stuff, I think the odds of going to the emergency room pretty early on are very, very high. Now, weak diseases is tempting because I know my patient is going to have a lot of diseases. However, being able to diagnose them a little bit faster would also be a lot better. I also am not convinced I want less symptoms in this case, because the more symptoms our patient has, the easier it's going to be to narrow down a particular disease. Like, let's say instead of having 3 out of 6 symptoms, it has 5 out of 6. So instead we're going to go for fewer potential diseases, which I think will help as far as, since I mostly just click on symptoms and try to highlight things anyway. Now, lifestyle's a little bit tricky. We could go for the random lifestyles because I'm not sure I'm going to have the points to go for better or cheaper lifestyles here. We're not going to get lifestyles very likely. However, I also know that the AI likes to focus a lot on risk factors, especially if you block them from picking up any more diseases further down a tree. So this could become really good for us. We're going to pick up weak risk factors just to offset some of the damage done. You could also go for recovery head start here. This is one of those scenarios where our patient has to get to 100% recovery. If we have to start with 10%, that means we have to cure less stuff before we win the scenario. However, because I know the patient is going to be constantly needing some retests, we're going to go for cheaper tests instead. Environment, I think slow collapse is a no-brainer because we need to slow down the AI's growth because this is going to be a hard scenario as it is. Let's go with this and see what happens. I suspect we're going to go to that emergency room very, very early on. All right, what's the damage looking like right now? Mostly damage to the muscular system, a little bit in the nervous, so there's a chance that he has Parkinson's. No, maybe Alzheimer's? No. So something else is going to be causing the, well, what are the odds he has all of this? Nope, he can't have major depression because he doesn't have nervous breakdown. So that's not going to be it. So something is causing some muscle damage, and it might be chronic stress. Because if I pick this up now, then it actually can block the AI from picking up a lot of stuff. I really want to stop him from going for major depression or Alzheimer's. So if I can get an early chronic stress test and find out that that's what's going on, that'd be fantastic. What else does he have? Fatigue. Fatigue and back pain can be caused by a lot of things. If he is taking some nervous damage, I mean, what else could it be? There could be something like, let's say, down in here, which is causing nervous damage. For example, this. Abnormal aortic aneurysm. That would cause some of the nervous damage, so I might be getting a false positive here thinking about the chronic muscle stress. Hard to say. Ultrasounds at least would test for several things at the same time, and he does have the symptoms for testicular cancer and for abdominal aortic aneurysm. So I think actually maybe an ultrasound is a better choice. It also gives us a chance to head off any blood clots, deep vein thrombosis, or post-phlebitic syndrome before the AI can continue further down the tree. Basically, that's the question. Do you want to go for stuff further down the tree and try to get the extra diagnoses, so save yourself some points, and also start curing the more dangerous stuff that does a lot of damage? Or do you want to go for the easy stuff, and maybe, just maybe, you can block the AI from picking up something more dangerous later? Which is, by the way, one of the reasons you want the weak risk factors, because if you block the AI off much, then the only thing they have to spend their points on is risk factors, so we can try to offset some of that damage. It's a difficult strategic decision here, and I think it's going to be a little bit situational. We are going to go for those ultrasounds pretty early on, so let's go ahead and do that here. Run the test. Maybe we find something. We do need to diagnose 3 things if we want to get our harvest power upgrade, which I would like to make some progress in the upgrades early. If the patient does go to the emergency room, then that's what we need to get to level 4, which gives us even more per resource. So we get +2 for every resource. That would be fantastic. So yeah, I want to get upgrades as early as possible. That's the most economical decision. Let's save our points and find out what the ultrasounds turn out. Nothing! Wow, I thought there was a very good chance that would give us something at least. Holy crud. All right, nausea could be just about anything. Muscle aches could be just about anything. Fatigue, he probably does have potassium deficiency. We'll run a metabolic panel next. That also tests for several different things and see if we can find whatever's going on. I am shocked that that turned up negative for 5 different diseases because all of them had some potential. Very frustrating. Okay, well, let's see what the metabolic panel turns up. He does have diabetes and potassium deficiency. I'm going to go ahead and cure the potassium deficiency in case he doesn't have the muscle cramps. I'll test for this later. He probably does. But if he doesn't, I've just blocked him off from several different things. Diabetes is significant because he could go for the type 2 diabetes, and that one is very dangerous. So I'd like to grab this. It also would block him from getting gallstones and pancreatitis, which is something my doctor thought that I had back when we were trying to figure out if I had appendicitis. So this one scares me on a personal level. But he might have. No, he doesn't have this. He doesn't have gallstones yet. So we want to cure the type 1 diabetes ASAP to prevent gallstones and pancreatitis and type 2 diabetes. All three of those are quite dangerous. Yeah, sooner we do that, the better. Just need some points for that. The muscular system is probably going to fail, and if it does, he's going to go to the emergency room, which means I get extra points. So we might be okay with letting the muscular system mostly fail and focus on other more important things for a little while. Let's go for the type 1 diabetes. We're going to go ahead and do strict diet. Well, it takes 23 days, and there's a very good chance that he will evolve the next one before I cure it. Maybe we want to go for the insulin injections. It's a little bit more expensive, but if we can get a couple more points right now, that might be better because it's faster. And the sooner you can cut off the AI, the better. That said, we're also wasting a lot of time just sitting around waiting for the points, so who knows. Dehydration has begun. Okay. Let's go for the insulin injections. Dehydration is not a symptom of any of these, so as long as we can cure this before he picks up any new symptoms, I feel relatively confident we were able to head him off from that one. As far as, well, let's see. Swelling and bruising. What are the odds he has lupus nephritis? Depends. Does he have lupus? He has fever and joint pain. Might have lupus. But he doesn't have photosensitivity. He has no dizziness. So that's probably not it. A urinalysis would test for several different things. He doesn't have anything for urinary incontinence. He probably has kidney cysts. And for that extent, we would want to do a kidney function test or a renal system MRI. But if he doesn't have urinary incontinence, he probably doesn't have these either. So a kidney function test would be good to head that off. Do less damage to the renal system. I'm also a little concerned about the skeletal system. So sweating, you know, he might actually have leukemia. This does damage to the cardio system, the muscular system, and the immune system, all of which are currently taking some damage, and he didn't have any of the stuff I expected in the cardio system. He probably does have leukemia, so I may want to test for that next and try to knock that out so we can at least reduce the false diagnoses in the immune, the cardio, and the digestive systems if possible. All right, so let's go ahead and pick up these points. He's now overweight. There's the risk factors I was talking about. So being able to reduce the damage from those is going to be quite nice for us. Let's do a quick leukemia test. We'll need a bone marrow biopsy. Now, this doesn't lead to anything further down a tree, so it's not helping me head off the AI. But even so, I think it could be good. Is it raining again? Oh, it freaking is. It has been raining in Virginia every gosh dang day, and it's not just a little bit of rain either. It's really raining hard these days. How freaking annoying. Once again, the AI is focusing on more risk factors. Irritating, but okay. Bone marrow biopsy. What are we going... Where's the point? It's down here somewhere, right? There's the leukemia. Okay, so we diagnosed something else. We could go for chemotherapy, or I can go for this upgrade early on, which I will do now. But we do need to cure the leukemia. That one has been confirmed, so that actually knocks out several different symptoms that we were expecting. So, okay. Actually, the weak risk factors are working really well to my advantage. He's now got 4 risk factors affecting the cardio and the muscular system. So being able to reduce the damage, extra damage done by those by 50% is actually pretty significant. Now is in the emergency room, which means we get extra points. Okay, if I can evolve 2 lifestyles. Oh, that's one of the reasons to go for the pre-evolved 2 lifestyles, because that actually saves you from having to worry about it. That's fine, though. We'll pick some up later. Let's go for the chemotherapy. We'll take that out of the equation. Renal system, we did want to do this test. Now, the good news is once he's in the emergency room, everything becomes a little bit cheaper. So we're going to go for a kidney function test. Does he have anything? No urinary incontinence. So he's going to have a kidney function test. Let's do that next. Find out what's going on there. We're going to get some extra points, which means we have a lot more gas to work with. That's fantastic. I don't think I'm going to save the muscular system, so if we pick up lifestyles, we're going to try to regenerate something else. No kidney failure? You've got to be kidding me. No kidney failure. Really? Okay, what else could be doing damage that's none of these? He doesn't have the photosensitivity still, right? So I know he doesn't have lupus nephritis, so something else is causing damage in the renal system. Salmonella. Could be, yes, salmonella. Could be gastroenteritis. Can't have pancreatitis, so that's not going to be it. We could do a very cheap physical exam for 1 point. We'll do that. We'll also pick up an infectious diseases panel, which tests for several different things. Let's see what we get from that. Maybe we find something new. Cardio system, nausea, swelling. High cholesterol is the only thing that's going for him there. Psychiatric assessment, I don't think he's going to have... No, he's not going to have dementia or greater depression, so that's not going to be it either. He could very well have... no, he doesn't have constipation. We're testing for everything there already. Does any of this do damage to the renal system? He might have picked up chronic muscle cramp, which would explain some of the damage in the nervous system. I'm not too sure. We're gonna go for some lifestyles instead. Pick up something relatively cheap, like let's say, I'm gonna go ahead and pick up the Mediterranean diet, so we can just do a little bit of health for the circulatory system. We need to pick up 2 of those, so we'll be able to get to the upgrade because we're just sitting just shy of the extra +1 resource, which is huge. There's the chronic muscle cramp, so he did evolve that later. Told you that could happen. So we managed to find that. Maybe we can pick it up before we get something new. There's stomach pain. Okay. That sucks. Pick up you. Pick up you. Okay, so he has the chronic muscle cramp. I want to cure that before we get something else. Let's go for the aspirin because it's a fast solution. Maybe we can stop him from getting muscular dystrophy. He might already have fibromyalgia, which does so much damage to the muscular system. It would explain a lot. Okay, there's salmonella. We found something else in the digestive system. That's good. The digestive and the skeletal system are currently the most at risk. He just got abdominal pain, which is really bad. There's an immune boost at the very least. I like that. Whoop, there's a 3-1 there. Want those instead. Thank you, thank you. Ah, we're getting so many points all of a sudden. Holy crap, what's happening? Let's pick up... Wait, we can't do this. We need more lifestyles. Okay, hang on. Let's go for the salmonella fix. We're going to go for antibiotics. For lifestyles, we are going to go for proper hydration for the digestive and the renal, maybe. This one is actually better for the digestive. Moderate drinking. We'll pick that up instead. Okay, now I can go to the upgrades, pick up the extra ones here and here. So now we're working with a lot more gas, which is very helpful for diagnosing. Okay, he's got some of this here. Okay, hang on. 18 points now. Abdominal pain, it was in the digestive system. What do you got? Could be constipation. He actually got a symptom for gallstones, which concerns me a lot. This is a good test to find out, can he actually get stuff even though we blocked him off? It could very well be the case, and if he does, well, that's really bad. He also might have some cirrhosis. We're going to do an abdominal scan. We'll find out for sure if he has any of this. And then we need to go back to the skeletal system. What could be doing the most damage here? He might have rickets. He probably could have osteoporosis as well. Let's do a test for 3 different things right now. Find out if he has arthritis. That would explain some of the joint pain and the swelling and the bruising. And then... Let's see. He's not going to have major depression. He doesn't... His renal system's actually improving. Nausea... He probably does have necrotizing fasciitis. Let's do a surgical exploration test and see if we can knock out some symptoms at this point. That is the main goal. Reduce the number of symptoms right now from things that he probably does have so that we'll be able to rule out other things later. Crohn's disease and constipation's no. Necrotizing fasciitis is a yes. Okay, so to cure this, we would need 7 points minimum for the antibiotics, and that's probably going to be fine. He also could still have fibromyalgia. There's arthritis and osteoporosis. Okay, hang on. Maybe we want to cure this first. We'll go for anti-inflammatory drugs. And if I had one more, which we can get right now, we can get rid of the osteoporosis. So that cures a few more things. So less back pain. He still has a lot, though. He might have Paget's disease. He also could have rickets. Both of them, I think, are equally likely at this point. A blood calcium test, at least, is very cheap, so we could just rule it out real quick. Let's do that next. Digestive system, please don't fail on me. Oh, he did get the gallstones and the pancreatitis. Aha, okay, so this confirms something. Either he already had this and wasn't showing any symptoms, or the AI can actually go past your blocking, which is really bad if that's the case, because it really could be that he has anything ever at all. So there's no strategy. Just go for whatever makes sense. Oh, no. That sucks. That really sucks. I hope that it turns out he just already had it, so I didn't misdiagnose something. If I misunderstood that mechanic, that's a huge deal. Let's go ahead and pick up that next. Then we can go for... I probably want pancreas surgery. It's a fast solution, but it does take 10 points. We'll go ahead and get that. We have found several different things that we need to cure. There's the rickets. Okay. Whoa, what just happened to the skeletal system? Paralysis? Well, then. I think that he now might have the frequent bone fracture. Crap, we're going to have to do the bone x-rays again and find out for sure. I'm going to go ahead and get the high cholesterol out of here. His circulatory system will start regenerating. He's in a lot of trouble right now if we don't get a lot more points. Skeletal system is now taking a ton of damage thanks to the frequent bone fracture. All right, let's go for... You know what? I don't know if we have time. We're going to have to go for the pancreatic enzyme treatment. Digestive system will not take any damage by the time that's done, but it's still going to be taking damage while they're being cured, so I'm a little concerned. We may want to pick up something to help regenerate the digestive system just to make it last a bit longer while we try to cure these things, because pancreatitis is going to take me a while. We may have to do that. Some sort of lifestyle to fix the digestive system. What can we get? No. Proper hydration. Sure, and I can't afford the healthy diet. Maybe we can offset some of this damage. I'm going to have to do some intensive care pretty soon if we're not careful, because with 2 systems causing damage to everything, then we may be in trouble. Could actually be in a lot of trouble. Okay, so we'll go for these points. Pick those up. Good. We're getting a lot of points at the very least. This is good. I don't think we're going to save the digestive system in time, so we're going to go for intensive care. And we are going to do a gastric bypass surgery. I also want to do... I can't do a bone graft or anything like that yet. And either way, both systems are still so incredibly damaged right now. This is a problem. This is turning out to be a really painful scenario. Unfortunately, I don't have a very good guide on this, it turns out, because, well, there's a lot going on. Let's go for an amputation. We're going to get rid of that. Back pain. He probably does have fibromyalgia. It would make a lot of sense. Rickets is definite, though. We can cure this. Let's go for the calcium vitamin D supplement. Paralysis. I mean, really, what else could be paralysis? The odds of him having a stroke right now seem low. I don't think he's going to have hemopariasis. Well, actually, that would explain both the muscular and skeletal system damage. This is only 1 point. Let's test and rule that out. He may not have the freaking bone fracture. He may have hemopariasis. That could be a good thing to rule out. Neurological exam is easy to do. We'll test for a few different things. He does not have it. Okay, so it's got to be the frequent bone fracture. Surely he hasn't had a stroke. We're actually really close to curing him right now, 100%. So, you know what? If I go for some intensive care right now, we actually can just buy ourselves enough time to beat this. Let's go for the metabolic boost or the anabolic steroids therapy. We just need to survive long enough to diagnose one more thing. He's going to have the frequent bone fracture. Let's do a bone x-ray. It doesn't even take all that long. In fact, paralysis is now his only symptom. So, yes, if we can do that, I think we've got it. Rickets, probably not going to be enough to get me to 100%, is it? Maybe not, but if we go for a skeletal boost right now with the bone graft, that'll cause a lot less damage to be done to multiple systems, which means the digestive system now has a chance to regenerate, not continue taking damage. Same with the circulatory system. So right now, skeletal and muscular are still taking damage. There's the frequent bone fracture. We knew that was going to be a thing. What does it take to cure it? Plaster cast. Done and done. All right, now we just need to run out the clock and we win. Gather as many points as you can and say goodbye. That's a rough scenario, guys. I tried really hard to be smart with it. Some misdiagnoses early on. And again, either the patient had gallstones and wasn't demonstrating any symptoms, or he was able to pick that up later. I need to do some research in the wiki and find out, can he actually get something new in biomedical warfare? Because if so, then basically just go for whatever makes the most sense and just diagnose as fast as you can. That's really all I have to tell you. It's a pretty rough scenario no matter how you do it. But at least we beat it. 5,600 points, 100% diagnosis efficiency, 197. Go for that emergency boost early on. And I think the weak risk factors were very helpful in this case because you can see the AI focused a lot on those. But if instead you go for the pre-evolved 2 lifestyles, then you could make a jump to your upgrades a little bit faster. And if you go to the emergency room, that means you get a lot of extra points. So consider that as well. Thank you all very much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed. If so, then be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys next time.